With these tips, you'll get fudgy, decadent brownies every time and no one will need to know that they came from a box. And you know I like some thorough research, so I went ahead and made a batch just as the box calls for so that we've got something to compare it to. Go in with your mix. In place of the water, I'm gonna try the coffee creamer. Calls for a 1/4 cup of water, so I'm gonna do a 1/4 cup of creamer. And then I'm gonna do the 3 eggs instead of 2. Next, for the oil, I'm gonna do 1/3 cup of oil and 1/3 cup plus the extra tablespoon of butter. Of course, you'll want your butter to be melted so it incorporates well. And give that all a stir. Don't forget the pinch of salt. And then I am gonna just add a little bit of a stir in. I'm just gonna do the chocolate chunks just so it doesn't really change the flavor much. I'm gonna bake this up in a 9x13 just like the original so we have a real good comparison. But if you really wanna get the thickest, fudgiest brownies, bake it in a smaller pan. This might increase the cook time, but the end result is gonna be a lot thicker. Then just bake according to package directions. You don't wanna overcook your brownies, so you wanna go on the lower end of the time frame. If it calls for 24 to 26 minutes, I like to check it around 23 minutes. We want them to be nice and fudgy at the end, so when we put that toothpick in to check to see if it's done, we don't want it to be perfectly clean. We want there just to be a little bit of chocolate crumb left on the toothpick. That's gonna ensure that they're not overcooked. These smell so good. Here's the deal. You gotta walk away. They need to be completely cool in order to get the prettiest slice. Let's just go in for a good old classic, old school brownie. The edges did get that crispiness, but I think that is fought over oftentimes from a pan of brownies. Are you an edge piece or a center piece? And little fudgy bits in there. I gotta do the side by side. You can tell the zhuzhed up version is just a little bit thicker. They're both kind of fudgy. Let's do a taste test though. It's all about the taste. This is just the box mix one. It's not like I'm not gonna like that. Let's taste our other one. Definitely has a lot more complexity. This one actually tastes more chocolatey, I guess because we stirred in those bits. Because I know coffee is in there, I sort of taste that coffee flavor from the creamer. But if I didn't know it was there, I would just think has such intense chocolate flavor. And I think that's because of what the coffee does. It like melts in your mouth. It's super rich. It's definitely worth amping them up a little bit. Especially if you're trying to trick people. I don't need to sit here and eat this whole thing of brownies. So. While we were waiting on the first batch, I went ahead and did the exact same thing, but put it in a smaller pan. Just by decreasing this pan size, you're gonna get a much thicker, richer brownie. There's no comparison. Yes, you will get fewer brownies, but they're definitely more indulgent. This is the original just follow the box instructions. This is make a few swap outs and put it in a smaller pan. Seriously. Now let's do an over the top version. 3 eggs instead of 2. And this one I'm gonna substitute the full amount of oil for melted butter plus that extra tablespoon. Then I'm gonna add in the creamer instead of the water. And then I'm gonna stir in a bunch of chopped up Snickers. I'm also gonna pour this one into a smaller pan so they bake up nice and tall. It's probably gonna take a considerable amount of time, longer than it says in the directions, but it'll be worth it. A good tip is to line your pan with a little parchment paper. That makes for easy removal, and then you can get better, like more perfect squares when you go to cut them. I still like to spray it with a little cooking spray, even with parchment, just for extra insurance. Let's check out our over-the-top version. These are the ones you make when you're really trying to impress somebody. These are like mile-high Snickers brownies. What have we done? I don't know a lot of things, but I do know that no one would know this came from a box. Good stuff. There's no shame in my game. I have no problem serving these up to company. I will definitely break out the box and take full credit. I might hide the evidence though. What are some of your favorite hacks in the kitchen? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure you're subscribed so you never miss a thing. See you next time.